Another league game, and I'd imagine hoping to build on an excellent result last time out.
Yep. Stevenage tomorrow. Another good game. Another good game for us. We're looking forward to it. We've had a good week's preparation. I think it'll be a good and difficult game for both teams.
And looking to harness, I suppose, a lot of what you showed against Northampton, as well as a sprinkling of some of the flair that we've seen earlier in the season as well.
I hope so. I mean, I think what we've shown in the last two games against Exeter and against Northampton was some good balance. We looked very solid. We have created chances, but not necessarily scored as many as we have done previously. But that's fine, a 0-0 away from home and a 1-0 will at home we'll take. But of course, you want to try and take more chances, and we'll continue to do that. But if we keep doing the right things and keep being brave and keep trying to play the way we do, we know the goals will come as well. And created some good chances last week. We were unlucky not to score more, but only needed the one from Jammer to get the result. So we'll take some good confidence going into the game tomorrow.
And back-to-back clean sheets. I know you've mentioned that it's not something that you're incredibly worried about based on how well you've been at the other end of the pitch, but it'd be nice to go and get a third.
Of course. We'll always aim to try and do that. The players take pride in that as well. And I mean, all the players that are out on the pitch. We've had a couple in a row, and we'll continue to try and do that tomorrow. But you know what? If we don't, let's just go and try and score more than them.
And as for Stevenage, a little bit of a mixed bag of results for them so far. 2 wins, 2 draws and 3 defeats. I imagine in that sense, you're not exactly sure which Stevenage will turn up.
No, look, we've looked at a number of their games. We've got a good idea of what we think they'll do. They started off the season well with a couple of wins, and then it's, I suppose, been a little bit up and down, but in terms of results. But I like the way they play. So we've prepared well, like we would do for any team, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. And we'll certainly be we certainly are looking forward to it. We think it'll be a difficult game for both teams, for them as well. But of course, we have to go and do the right things like we do in every single game, and the most important things are our basics and being brave and trying to do what we do.
So what is it you like about their style of play?
They look to try and build. They want to have possession of the ball. I like that about them. They'll look to try and they're brave themselves. They'll take the ball from the back, and they make some good decisions, and they'll take some risks. And I think they've got good style. They've got some good rotations, and they've got some. They get players in dangerous areas of the pitch, and they'll certainly cause teams problems. And we have to be vigilant and at it and aggressive tomorrow to try and stop them doing what they want to do.
That word brave is something we've heard you say a lot recently. Is that one of the key messages that you really drive for your players to go out and express themselves? Yeah,
you'd have heard me speak about, and people have heard me talk about a lot about taking risks and not being afraid of making mistakes, because we know we're going to do that. Well, to do that, you've got to be brave and believe in what you do. And we always say we'll back each other. If you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It's how we react. Let's go and be brave, and let's take some risks. And I love it when the players do that, because we've got some really good footballers, and when they're brave and when they're at their best, we're a really good team to watch, and that's what I want to see.
And Matty Stevens and Jack Aitchison both had loan spells at Stevenage last season. Have you turned to them and asked if they have any little bits of knowledge that you might not have picked up on in your research?
We haven't done so far. I might speak to them today and pick their brains a little bit on it. But of course, it's of course the season players will come up against some of their former clubs. It was Geordie, the other week with Exeter as well. So that happens quite regularly throughout the season. But I might pick their brains a little bit today.
And how's the squad going into this one? Any fresh injury concerns?
No fresh injury concerns, which is brilliant. Ibu can be added to the list again as well now, which is good. Getting back from suspension. So he's had his spell in the naughty corner, and he's back with us, which is brilliant. And so we're in a good place going into the game.
And how important is it to have him back in, whether he's on the bench, whether he starts, however that is, as a character, and what obviously, that you can offer on the pitch? Eves
has been brilliant, even while he's been out and unavailable. He's still played in the Papa John's game. He played in the Brentford B team game that we were able to have. So he's played a couple of games. He's been great in training. He's a ball of energy, which people won't be surprised to hear. How he is out on the pitch, that's how he is around the training ground and in training as well. So big character for us, big player for us. So it's great to have him back with us.
And he's not the only one, is he? I know we've touched on this before, but the spirit amongst this team and the obvious friendships is really fantastic, isn't it? And very important for how they play out on the pitch as well. Yeah,
because they want to fight for each other and work for each other, and the better they get on, I think you can have more honest conversations that way as well. You can demand of people, so they're not afraid of telling each other as well if they want a bit more, or if they expect a bit more, which is important. But it's all taken in the right way because they want to win and they're competitive. But yeah, they're really together, this group, more so than any group I've probably ever seen, which stands us in good stead going forward.
And I'll speak about the fans again. They've been excellent every week so far this season. And you've touched on that. You'll be hoping they travel in their numbers again. Yeah,
I'm sure they will. And again, thanks again for making the journey, because it's a longer one. We're stopping over tonight ourselves, so to prepare well. So yeah, thanks ahead of making the journey. Take care coming down, and hopefully we can put on a performance that you'll be proud of.